Okay, here we have the Hyundai Tucson 2-litre diesel automatic. It's a 2007 model, and I think I've been having EGR problems. It broke down, it wouldn't start. I think the EGR was stuck open all the time, hence it wouldn't start. Where we'd drive along, go up a hill, it would cut out, it wouldn't start. And I think it's the EGR. Okay, I've had a little tester put on it, and as you're driving along, it comes up EGR problem. Change that. And to make this change is really quite simple. I'm not a mechanic, okay, a bit of DIY stuff, but you can do this. So what I'm going to do is show you the tools that you need and then crack on and do it, because I've got a new one coming today. Okay, lined all the tools up that you're going to need, and there's not very many, as you can see. So what you're going to need is a small wrench, nothing too big, because it's quite a little gap to get it into. And next to that we've got an assortment of 3 extenders. We've got a 10 and a 12mm socket. We've got a 10 and a 12mm spanner. We've got a little Allen key, but it's an extended Allen key. And if you want to know what size it actually says on it CRV4. And what that's for, there for the bolts on the attach the solenoid to the EGR valve. Got a small screwdriver, because you might need that just to release a few of the pipes. Like a long-nosed bent plier, that's for taking off the spring around the one of the big pipes, to be honest. I'm guessing it's a turbo pipe. A normal pump pliers, a little magnetic thing in case you drop some bits, bit of insulation tape, WD-40, and a pair of rubber gloves, and also some old gloves with the fingers cut off, and they're to put over the coolant pipes on the EGR after you've taken them off. Right, that's really all you need. Let's make a start. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to raise the bonnet, put it on the highest catch. And we've got 4 bolts here. They're 10mm bolt, so take these out, and this will take off your engine cover. It makes it so much easier to get to, and to be honest, you can't do the job without doing that. We'll take these out. Okay, so that's the 4 bolts out of there, 10mm bolts, and we'll take the engine cover off and put that to one side. Now, the next thing you want to take off, so you can gain access to this, really is the rail here, the electrics for the rail. Just unclip those, get them out of the way, and then so we can gain access to the EGR valve. Now, what I recommend also is this clip here. If you've got a really good set of mole grips, for example, take that off, move it out of the way, and split it. Then you can push that out the way. It's a lot easier. What we're going to do in the first instance is take the electrics off, move these over here. Okay, so I'm going to start to take off the plugs for these. You can't really get them wrong, they can't really go back on in the wrong place because they just won't fit anywhere else. So pop them off, pop that one out at the back, okay, press the clip and split that. Same with this one, little clip at the top, little clip at the bottom, that comes out and split. That one, you can't really get these wrong. This one here, just the same, get that split, squeeze, open that one up, and the one off the back of the EGR, get that off. Okay, so tuck them out of the way. Then just pop this off here and get this electric rail off and lift it up and just bring it over here. Take that one there off. Well, I'm guessing that's actually the diesel pressure sensor. So get that shifted out of the way as well. So now they're all completely out the way of where you're working. Alright, because that's what you want, out the way. While you're at it, if you want, you can even take the mass airflow sensor, pop that, and get that out of the way as well. Okay. So that's that. They're all out of the way. I'm guessing this is a turbo vacuum pipe. I really don't know, because I'm not a mechanic, as I say, but I do know that this needs to come off. Be careful as you're taking these off. You don't want to split them or rip them. And if you need WD-40, give it a little bit of a squirt, and it'll come off the damn sight easier. And that's that off, and took that out of the way. Over there. Pop it behind there if you want, so you can't go any further. Right, so that's pretty much everything electrical out the way. Next thing we're going to start on is the pipes. Okay, now down here there are 3 pipes coming off the EGR cooler. One here, one on the top here, and one just, you can just see the end of my finger just here. And all 3 of them have got like squeeze clips on them. So what you do is leave that on so you don't release any pressure, and you'll just nip them together and then move the pipes back off and beyond, taking care that you don't trap your fingers, because if you do, this is really going to hurt. Okay, so just move it back out the way. This one, same thing, back just out the way, and then this one at the back, a little bit trickier, but easy enough to get to on the whole. Move that back and out the way. Now that's those 3 unclipped. Okay, now if they're quite tough, bit of a squirt with WD. I don't know about these, I'm not sure. But remember I told you about the gloves, the fingers cut off? Show you what I'm going to do with them. Right, so all I want to do is give them a little bit of a squirt, just around the edge, not too much, just a little bit. And then, if you give them a bit of a wiggle, they may come straight off. If they don't come straight off, simply get your little screwdriver and give it a bit of a prise. Okay? Right, so we'll go with this one. Okay? Screwdriver in, be very careful that you don't rip the rubber or anything like that. We don't want to be doing that. That's it, it's coming. So now all you do is you carefully take that off and have your little rubber finger ready, because you may get some fluid come out. Okay, I'll tuck that behind there. It hasn't come out yet, but we're going to squeeze that over the end of that nozzle. Alright? It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing, trust me. So that's that one done. Second one, very carefully, don't want to rip that rubber. Give that a bit of move. Come in. You can see some fluid just starting to drip from that one. Come on, here it comes. WD's done its job. Comes out. Now, have your bit of glove ready, and then as soon as you take this pipe off, get your finger over the EGR valve, because the likelihood is some fluid will come out, and it's about to. So there you go, so be careful. Gloves might be a good idea, or glasses, you know, but it hasn't got in my eye. Anyway, so we're going to carry on. So that's that. Bit of leakage out the pipe. And get that over the end. That's it. Okay. It's slippery, but it'll keep the majority of fluid from coming out. So that's that. That's done. Tuck that there out the way. That leaves the third one to come out. Screwdriver in, a little bit of a move around to free it off, a little bit of a squirt. If we really loosen that out, it's a bit awkward to get to this one. Yeah, that's cracked it. Right, this one's coming off a lot easier. A bit of a wiggle. Thumb over the end, coolant's come out. Took that pipe out of the way. bit of a rubber glove. Okay. I'm going to put that over the end of the pipe. And that's all your 3 pipes now capped off, moved out of the way. Next stage. Okay, so what we've actually got now, close up, if you can see this, is we've got 1, 2, 3 pipes. They're the 3 pipes we've just took off. I've tucked one of the hoses behind the back of here, one here behind the back of the, I think it's a vacuum for the turbo, and then this third one I've just tucked here out of the way. Now, if you're just wanting to change the actual EGR valve, which is, this is the solenoid for it, and then it goes down and attaches, can you, if it's difficult, see, it's difficult to get a camera in, let alone your arm to change it. So it's there, it bolts on here. There's 3 bolts between there and here, and they're absolute swines to take out. And at the bottom of here, there's 2. There's one down the back and there's one down the front. There's just down there. Again, very difficult. Just at the end of my finger there. So they've got to come off. Now, you can spend hours, frustrating hours, trying to take just that part off. What I recommend, and why we've done this, is because if you take the whole EGR cooler off, it is so much easier, because we've got 2 bolts here at this end, 1, 2, and then we've got the 2 bolts under there. There's one awkward bolt which you won't even see, you won't know where it is. I'm going to tell you where it is now. If you look straight down in line with this pipe here, looking back towards yourself, there's a bracket. It's just at the end of my finger, down there. It's just down there, that's it. Okay, well at the end of there, there's another bolt, and you have to get to it from around the back of here with an extension straight through. If you don't get that out, that's not coming off. Okay, so they need to come out. So the next step is to take out those 5 bolts. Right, so we're going to start, as you look at the car from the front, we're going to start to take out the 2 bolts that are on the EGR cooler at this end. As you can see, there's that rusty 1 bolt there. Okay, that's that one. This is going to be really difficult, and really difficult to film as well. Okay, because it's not easy to see, it's not easy to get to, and for that you're going to need a 12mm socket. So we've got our 12mm socket, and I'm just going to pop it onto that first bolt. Quite an easy one to get out, this, to be honest. Just watch these pipes. I'm not going to take them off, I'm not going to mess about them. So, start to undo. See, let's undo it instead of tightening it up. Told you I wanted a mechanic, didn't I? Right, so I'm going to start to undo those. So, nice and careful, avoiding these pipes. Move that out of the way a little bit. Pipes out of the way, and crack that. Take that extension off, might be a little bit easier. There, gone. Nice and steady. So what we're going to be using is a 12mm spanner. And you can get to it. You probably can't see it on the video, but it's literally just down here. It's quite awkward to get to, so it's on there now, and it's just loosened it a little bit, and it's a little bit backwards and forwards. Just wiggle around, because there's not a lot of space for that, but it's coming now. So they are the first 2 bolts that are coming out. Right, now as I said, the other bolt, mounting bolt for the EGR cooler onto the block, is down and beneath, so you have to get a socket set with an extension bar on. Be careful with your pipes, wiggle it in, feel where it is. And I've told you where it is. It's in line with where this goes into the cooler, this pipe goes into the cooler. It's there, so you feel around, wiggle, get it on, and then it's quite difficult because you've got no purchase really. Hold your bar steady and then crack it off. Alright, it might take a couple of minutes,
but that's where it is, that's the one. And be very, very careful when you bring it out that you try and get your finger over the end of the bolt and hold it into the bar and the socket when you bring it out. Okay, so that's the next one I'm going to do. Right, the final two bolts that are holding the whole unit on are down here. As you hook down the EGR, you've got your power there that comes in, just there, that part. Now there's a bolt down the back of there, which you can get a socket to, so that will go down and on. Now you may want to take this off, okay? Like I said earlier, if you want to take it off, then take it off and push it out of the way. You can get this off without doing so. So, am I on the bowl? What you'll find is it's quite awkward to get that off with the solenoid on. This is where I told you that if you've got your Allen key here, you can take them four bolts out. This will take the solenoid off and it'll give you just a little bit more working space. Okay, but let's see if I can get this without doing that. That's it, we've got it, it's done. So that's the first one done. Okay. There. Now I'm just going to crack that loose, it's got it, don't lose your socket on the end. The second one is a little bit more tricky, because what you might have to do is, if you can push those little pipes out of the way, just a little bit, you can get the socket straight down the side of the solenoid, push that pipe tight. It's not easy, and that pipe might squeeze through. Okay, if you can't, what you're going to have to do, take the socket off. So we need three hands. Pop your hand down underneath and try and get it onto the bolt. This is where your magnetic thing comes in. Okay, so little magnetic thing, these are great, hardly cost anything. So you can then come down this side, pop that down over, because you can see it clearly, over the nut we're on, and then make sure it's on your nut, and then slide and then hold that socket on and take the magnetic thing away. Then put that in, go for a bit longer, extension on there. And we're done, we're on. That is a lot easier when you know how. And I'm going to crack that one off. That's it, we're done. And then just take carefully take them out. Okay, so like I said, a couple of minutes and that's out. Okay, now a little tip, when you come to put it back in, what I recommend you do is put some insulation tape around it, shove it into your socket so it's not going to come out, then you can lower it down and it's not going to drop through. Okay, that's why the insulation tape's there. So that's that one out. Okay, we've got that. Keep that safe. You don't want to drop this. This one's not so bad actually, because if this one drops, you can actually see where it's going to land. It might even land on the floor. But I've got it anyway, so there we go. That's out. Put that one there. Which leaves, I've got the awkward one out. I've already done that. And now just undo these two at this end. There's one. The more awkward one, might just have to, where's it coming? Yeah, it's coming. So we've got that coming as well. You might need to move the pipe a little bit. Be careful because there's fluid in there. And just try and wheedle it about if you can. As I say, this one's not easy, but a bit of contortionist goings on, and you can actually get it with your thumb and your finger, and that's out as well. Okay. Whew. The hardest thing about this task is leaning over the damn engine. Gets you back in knees. Right, so that's that done. Okay, so let's move now these electrics. Let's get these electrics out of the way. As I say, they can't go back on wrong, so don't worry about that. If you put them on wrong, you're an idiot, but you know, I don't think you are because you've got this far. So that's it. Now we should be very careful, be able to take this out. Right, now you should only lose fluid from the two pipes off the EGR cooler. Let's give it a wiggle, and it's coming. Be careful you don't lose your gaskets, right? Just like that. Right, so that gasket comes off, drops on top of the cover. So got one there, keep that safe. That goes on this end, and the other one at the other end is down at the bottom, so you shouldn't lose that. But just be careful as you give this a bit of a wiggle, and nice and gentle. Up it comes. It will come. That's why you shove this out of the way. And we're done. It's coming out. Careful that you don't pull off these little rubber ends because it will pour out. There's quite a lot of fluid in there, so that's it. That's your EGR valve off. You're done. So you've got your EGR here, and you've got your cooler here, and you've got three 10mm bolts there.